trying to pull myself together in order to pass this message along to you travelers is proving to be quite difficult. The halfling's herb is certainly dulling my mind. But I have some notes, and I will do my best to read from them as they seem to be somewhat coherent. So where do I begin? Ah yes, right here. I have many names, and in all likelihood we have met before. You may refer to me as Abathor, or Batty for short. I travel the multiverse as it suits me. I serve at my own whim, or at the behest of others, when there is something for me to gain. Currently, my focus has been on a great disturbance in the balance of all things. You see, I am studying a demon, and its festering blight upon the lands. I will tell you of my study. That's the whole purpose for this message. For you and your friends are also travelers to the multiverse. You're all adventurers. So, to understand how this demon came so close to manifesting their vile self onto the mortal plane requires at the very least an elementary understanding for the basics of all magics. I'm referring, of course, to the weave. The weave is the strands of creation, the mana that connects all things. It ties and anchors all of the cosmos together. And to the cosmos it ties all the planes of existence together. And even to that, it ties upon it the limitless layers of multiple realities. It is at once everything, just as it's nothing. For you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, and you cannot hope to understand it. Gods and mortals alike have attempted to unravel the mysteries of the weave, simply to be snuffed from existence. The only being ever to have managed it has been grasped hold by the energies. For her efforts, the goddess Mystra has forever been bound to the weave's service. She alone knows the truth of the weave. But, for all that, we do know something of the weave. We knew that the weave has a great many laws. Of those laws, there are three fundamental laws to understand. The first, all magic is shared and balanced across the weave. Any magical use causes a reaction somewhere else. Law 2, mana, or the energies within which magic is drawn, comes from life. It grows endlessly along with the multiverse. There exists no end to its supply until the end of all things. And the third fundamental law, there's no force that can destroy the weave or its strands. You see, I get caught up even on my notes there. It happens sometimes, but I'll try and sound grandiose for the remainder. So, the third law, there is no force that can destroy the weave or its strands. And those were the fundamental laws, until a few short millennia ago, when this demon I am studying found a way to snip one of Mistress' strands. Excuse me. Well, to focus more on this elementary explanation. Each realm, whether it be a terrestrial planet or plane of existence, is connected to the weave through one or many strands. These are energy pools, mana rivers, whatever you wish to call them, anchors. While each realm is unique in its connection to the weave, most have near permanent anchor points for the weave's strands, focal places for energy, high turbulence of mana. All of these are tied together by pathways encompassing the realm, pathways of mana. They're commonly referred to as ley lines. These ley lines drift invisibly around the realm, serving as main routes for mana and magic to flow. Before the discovery of the weave and its ley lines, magic users of old used to worship these sites as some kind of gods on themselves. For when you are within ley lines or at anchor points, one can produce magical powers greater, far greater, than you'd be able to outside of these areas. In the present time, there are many beings who can identify and tap into the vast powers within the anchors or ley lines, enabling the use of untold magics. Now, with that rudimentary understanding of the weave taken care of, we can more closely examine the events that transpired in the realm of Immarion, where the third fundamental law was broken. Immarion was a planet connected to the weave by a solitary strand, which anchored itself over a landmass just north of its equator. Ley lines extended from that anchor, encapsulating Immarion in a band of mana which grew along with the thriving life on the planet's surface. Immarion was once a realm of greatly advanced magic and technology, fueled by its unique connection to the weave. Floating islands, powers untold, the ability to create salvation for all creatures. But, like many realms of greatness, it drew the attention of darker forces. This demon discovered some form of material not native to Immarion, buried deep within the planet itself. How it got there we do not know. There have been endless cataclysms across the multiverse. Surely one could have tossed its material across planes and landed in Immarion. But for this material, for eons, this demon coveted it, molded it, and enveloped it within its essence. This demon worked to drive this material from to the planet's surface through the manipulation of mortals, acting as a muse whispering into the ear of engineers and scientists and magicians to pull forth this material. Each gnawing step taken to do so eroded the weave anchors to Immarion, and so it was done slowly as to not alert Mystra, the goddess of the weave. Finally, this demon's scheming came to a climax as it poured itself into a mortal man and set to using him as a tool to manifest its transcendence into the mortal plane. What happened after there is murky in history. It's not clear. But there are two things clear. First is that the attempt to manifest the demon from beyond the veil was interrupted. The cataclysmic fallout from the interruption struck the final blow to Immarion's anchor to the weave, for the first time ever, isolating a realm from all the others across the multiverse. No longer does mana flow from the weave into the lands of Immarion. Now all the mana must be drawn from Immarion's own soil. It will be up to the planet itself to supply the mana for continued life to thrive there. Second, as Immarion was cut from the weave, so too was the demon. Now it festers in a prison of its own making, isolated from the weave and pouring its filth into what little energy remains there. Even now its mortal vessel, who was made almost immortal from my understanding, continues to perform the demon's works, clawing it ever closer to crossing the veil into the mortal realm. My attention to this demon was drawn by a pupil of mine, one who resided on Immarion at the time of its cataclysm. My pupil's final warnings echo in my mind today, and they are the last words I will give you as this message, something for you to ponder. This is what he said.
Master, I believe this will be my final message to you. I pray that you've received my calls of distress from Immarion. The demon who has invaded our country, our planet. Her name is Ion, and she has corrupted the spirit of a man who calls himself the Emperor. He sits on his throne at the strand anchor in the country of Etheria. I believe he will bring about a cataclysm that will shake the very foundations of the weave. We need assistance. Please, if you hear this, please help us.